At 66, Randy Travis finally tells the truth about Alan Jackson. Randy Travis was born Randy Bruce Trawick on May 4, 1959 in Marshville, North Carolina. Raised in a working-class family, Travis was the second of 6 children born to Bobby and Harold Trawick. His father was a horse breeder, turkey farmer, and avid fan of country music who encouraged young Randy to pursue music from an early age. Despite a turbulent youth marked by repeated run-ins with the law and a series of juvenile arrests, Travis found solace and structure in music, especially in the traditional country sounds of Hank Williams, George Jones, and Lefty Frizzell. These legends would go on to influence his own musical style deeply, shaping the neo-traditionalist sound for which he later became famous. Randy's path to stardom was far from easy. As a teenager, his rebellious behavior often clashed with authority figures, and he dropped out of high school. However, his life began to change dramatically when he started performing in local clubs and was discovered by Elizabeth "Lib" Hatcher, a nightclub manager who saw not only his talent, but also his potential for greatness. Hatcher became his manager and eventually his wife, playing a crucial role in turning his life around both personally and professionally. Under her guidance, Randy cleaned up his act, honed his craft, and began recording demo tapes that would catch the attention of major record labels. In 1986, Travis's breakthrough came with the release of his debut album Storms of Life, which became a massive commercial and critical success. Featuring timeless hits like On the Other Hand and Diggin' Up Bones, the album revitalized the traditional country music sound at a time when the genre was leaning toward pop influences. Storms of Life not only went multi-platinum, but also ushered in a new era of country music, paving the way for artists such as Alan Jackson, Clint Black, and Garth Brooks. Travis's rich baritone voice, coupled with his emotional authenticity and traditional storytelling, captivated audiences across the nation. Throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, Randy Travis dominated the country charts with a string of #1 hits including Forever and Ever, Amen, I Told You So, Deeper Than the Holler, and He Walked on Water. He won numerous accolades during this golden period of his career, including multiple Grammy Awards, Country Music Association, CMA Awards, and Academy of Country Music, ACM Awards. His music resonated deeply with fans, not just because of its melodic quality, but because of its heartfelt messages of love, faith, family, and resilience. In addition to his musical success, Travis also explored acting, appearing in a number of films and television shows. His screen presence was marked by a quiet intensity and sincerity that mirrored his musical persona. He starred in movies such as The Rainmaker, Black Dog, and Fire Down Below, and had recurring roles on television series like Touched by an Angel and Matlock. Though acting was never his primary pursuit, it showcased his versatility and helped expand his appeal beyond country music audiences. During the 1990s, Randy Travis made the bold decision to broaden his creative horizons beyond country music by actively pursuing an acting career, demonstrating a versatility that surprised many fans. Having already cemented his place as a country music legend with a string of chart-topping albums and hit singles during the 1980s, Travis saw the following decade as an opportunity to explore new avenues in the entertainment industry. He began taking on roles in both television films and theatrical releases, steadily building a respectable resume as an actor. One of his early acting credits came with the 1994 television Western Dead Man's Revenge, in which he played the role of a morally complex character in a gritty, post-Civil War frontier setting. This performance allowed him to showcase his natural ease on screen and his affinity for roles with emotional depth. His rugged Southern charm and authenticity made him particularly suited to westerns and dramas, genres that often required a stoic yet emotionally resonant presence. Travis continued to build on this momentum with roles in projects like Steel Chariots, 1997, a made-for-TV drama centered around the world of stock car racing. His participation in this film not only reflected his personal love of traditional American culture, but also positioned him as a recognizable figure in family-oriented and heartland-themed entertainment. That same year, Travis appeared in The Rainmaker, 1997, a major motion picture directed by acclaimed filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola and based on the novel by John Grisham. In this film, Travis played the small but memorable role of Billy Porter, a testament to his ability to transition from television to big-screen productions and work alongside top-tier Hollywood talent. In 1998, he took on a part in TNT, an action-packed television movie that further showcased his range as an actor. Travis brought a sense of sincerity and groundedness to his character, reinforcing his growing reputation as a dependable presence in film. He closed out the decade with a performance in The $1 Million Kid, 1999, a family film that allowed him to engage with a younger audience and further cement his appeal across generations. While Randy Travis was making strides in the world of acting, a deep spiritual shift was also occurring within him, one that would significantly alter the trajectory of his music career. Toward the late 1990s and early 2000s, Travis began to feel increasingly drawn toward faith-based music, leading him to make a pivotal decision. He would transition from mainstream country to gospel music, a genre that had always held a personal and emotional significance for him. His last major secular album of the 1990s, A Man Ain't Made of Stone, 1999, marked something of a farewell to his traditional country roots. Though it still bore the hallmarks of his signature sound, rich baritone vocals, honest storytelling, and emotional vulnerability, it also hinted at the inner transformation Travis was undergoing. With the turn of the millennium, he fully embraced the gospel genre, launching what would become a highly successful and spiritually fulfilling new phase of his career. In 2000, Travis released Inspirational Journey, his first full-length gospel album. This record was more than a musical project. It was a reflection of his renewed faith and commitment to a higher calling. The songs were imbued with messages of hope, redemption, and divine love, resonating deeply with both his existing fans and new audiences who were drawn to his authenticity and spiritual depth. He continued this path with Worship and Faith, 2003, a live gospel album that included renditions of classic hymns and spiritual standards. The album was recorded in a church setting and captured the emotional power of communal worship, with Travis's voice lending a heartfelt sincerity to every track. It became one of the most successful gospel releases of his career and earned him widespread acclaim within the Christian music community. His transition into gospel was not just a career move, it was a testimony of his personal journey and a reaffirmation of his values deeply rooted in faith, humility, and grace. In the 2000s, Travis experienced a career renaissance in the gospel music genre. His album Rise and Shine, 2002, which featured the powerful single 3 Wooden Crosses, earned him a Grammy Award for Best Southern Gospel, Country Gospel, or Bluegrass Gospel Album. This transition reflected not just a change in musical direction, but also a deepening of his personal faith. Travis's gospel work inspired a new generation of Christian and country artists and demonstrated that his artistry could transcend genre boundaries. In the early years of Randy Travis's rise to fame, one of the most influential figures in both his personal and professional life was Mary Elizabeth "Lib" Hatcher. Hatcher, who had discovered Travis while he was working as a cook at a nightclub in Charlotte, North Carolina, played a pivotal role in reshaping his image and guiding his career. Their relationship went far beyond that of artist and manager. They formed a deep and complex personal bond that saw them living together for several years before making their commitment official. During this formative period in the 1980s, as Travis transitioned from a struggling performer to a breakout country music star, Hatcher was not only his partner in business, but also in life, offering stability and vision that helped set the foundation for his success. On May 31, 1991, after years of private companionship and professional collaboration, Travis and Hatcher secretly married. The ceremony was kept deliberately low profile, taking place without public announcement or media fanfare. Not long after their wedding, the couple purchased a home on the Hawaiian island of Maui, seeking seclusion and a peaceful retreat away from the pressures of Nashville and the constant scrutiny of the entertainment world. The decision to keep their marriage private, combined with their relocation to a distant tropical setting, fueled rampant speculation among fans and members of the media alike. Travis would later recall that the secrecy surrounding their union led to widespread rumors, including persistent claims that he was gay and had contracted HIV/AIDS, an especially sensational and damaging suggestion during a time when misinformation and stigma about the disease were prevalent. In early 1991, the tabloid National Enquirer published an inflammatory article alleging that Travis was gay, a claim that deeply disturbed the singer and his team. The story threatened not only his personal dignity, but also his carefully cultivated image as a traditional country artist, a genre that often prized conservative values and heterosexual masculinity. Travis initially considered filing a defamation lawsuit against the publication. However, after consulting with legal counsel, he was persuaded to forego litigation, likely to avoid drawing further attention to the false allegations. Journalist Michael Corcoran later observed that the marriage itself, even after it was eventually made public, remained a topic of controversy. This was due in part to its earlier secrecy, but also because Hatcher was 18 years older than Travis, a detail that sparked both curiosity and criticism. Their significant age difference challenged conventional expectations of romantic partnerships, particularly within the highly image-conscious world of country music. After nearly 2 decades of marriage, Travis and Hatcher divorced in October 2010, officially citing incompatibility as the reason for their separation. The dissolution of their marriage also marked the end of their long-standing business partnership, though some sources note that she remained involved in managing aspects of his career during the transition. The split signified a turning point in both of their lives, especially for Travis, who had to reorient his personal and professional identity after losing not just a spouse, but a manager and confidant who had been with him through every step of his journey to stardom. In the years that followed, Travis found love again. After a period of quiet courtship and growing companionship, he became engaged to Mary Davis, a woman who would later play an instrumental role in his life, particularly during one of its most challenging chapters. The couple were married on March 21, 2015, solidifying a relationship that had already weathered great adversity. They settled at Chrysalis Ranch, a peaceful and expansive property near Tioga, Texas, which became both their home and a sanctuary for healing and reflection. When Travis suffered a near-fatal stroke in 2013 that severely limited his ability to speak and perform, Davis became his primary caregiver and unwavering advocate. She has since taken on the responsibility of representing him in public appearances, ensuring that his legacy continues to be honored and that his voice, while physically diminished, remains heard through her loving support. Their bond has come to symbolize resilience, enduring love and devotion in the face of overwhelming hardship, a poignant second act in the life of a country music legend. In 2016, Randy Travis was rightfully inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, a moment that became one of the most emotional in the institution's history. Although he was unable to deliver a full speech, he stunned the audience by singing part of Amazing Grace, a haunting and moving testament to his enduring voice and spirit. That moment served as a reminder of his profound impact on country music and of the human strength that defines true greatness. At 66 years old, country music legend Randy Travis broke his long-held silence and spoke candidly about fellow country star Alan Jackson, a man he has known for decades, respected deeply, and, until recently, rarely discussed in public in personal terms. For years, fans speculated about the nature of their relationship. Were they rivals? Were they close friends? Or were they just two icons traveling parallel paths in Nashville's golden age? The truth, as Travis revealed in a heartfelt and emotional conversation during a recent retrospective interview, is far more meaningful than any speculation could have captured. According to Travis, Alan Jackson wasn't just a fellow country artist. He was one of the few people in the music industry who consistently showed humility, integrity, and a deep reverence for traditional country roots, even as fame and commercial pressure pushed many in the genre toward pop-influenced sounds. Travis recounted with admiration how Jackson always stayed grounded, often deflecting praise and lifting others up instead. Alan never needed the spotlight to shine alone, Travis reflected. He made room for others and treated everyone, whether a fellow artist, a crew member, or a fan, with kindness and decency. Travis went on to share previously untold stories about Jackson's generosity behind the scenes, how, during some of Travis's toughest years, including health struggles and career setbacks, Jackson reached out privately, offering support without seeking credit or publicity. One particularly touching moment Travis recalled was during his recovery after his 2013 stroke. While many public figures sent their well wishes through statements, Alan Jackson made an unannounced visit to Travis's home, sitting quietly with him, holding his hand, and offering words of hope and prayer. "He didn't come for show or headlines," Travis said, his voice trembling. "He came because he cared. That's the kind of man Alan Jackson is." Randy also opened up about how the two artists, despite their stylistic differences, shared a mutual commitment to honoring the legacy of the greats who came before them: George Jones, Merle Haggard, and Hank Williams Sr. They often talked about their desire to keep the heart and soul of classic country alive for future generations. Jackson, according to Travis, was one of the few modern artists who could sell millions of records without compromising the authenticity of his sound. "He was a torchbearer for the music we loved," Travis said. "He didn't chase trends. He was the standard." By finally telling this story at 66, Travis not only cleared up years of public uncertainty about his relationship with Alan Jackson, but also offered a rare and powerful tribute from one country legend to another. In a genre built on storytelling, Randy Travis chose to tell one of his most personal stories,